Welcome to Popcorned Planet. I am Andy Signore. We're trying a new series here. There's a lot of stories that I'm unfamiliar with. Stories that were all over YouTube. Drama, true crime, all pop culture controversy stuff. Stuff I missed or I avoided. And now's the time for me to react to it for the first time. And today we are going through the Myka Stauffer case. Now, I know this is a YouTube family. I know there was some drama, bad parenting, or something went down, but I do not really understand or know the specifics at all about what this case is. How this series will work is you guys will pitch similar stories like this, and I'm going to give you my first-time reaction, as well as a timeline and breakdown through the whole story. And I can do this so much thanks to my incredible team. Puff stepped up tremendously. Lynn, thank you so much for all your hard work on this. And Alicia assisting her because Puff couldn't make it here. So Alicia is our voice of director. Are you there, Alicia?
Yep, I'm here.
Thank you, Alicia. So if I have any questions as I'm reading this for the first time, you can help pitch this. But if you guys weren't aware of the Stauffer case, get ready for a deep dive. If you aren't familiar, get ready to, I guess if you don't know, get ready for this deep dive. If you do know it already, get ready to watch my reaction because I'm told I'm going to get frustrated. So you get to watch it live as we go. All right, you guys ready to do this? We are doing this as a members-only experiment. We will be doing these more, again, at the end of this video throughout. Suggest another story you want us to break down for you, and hopefully we'll do it. Let's see how this does. All right, it's time for my first time reacting to the Myka and James Stauffer story drama on YouTube. Let's do this. All right, opening up the document. First time watching Myka Stauffer. Case report by Lynn. Puff, thank you so much. All right, so this is about a child, Myka, a child adopted from China. These are all the kids, the biological kids. Okay, here we go. Before she was Myka Stauffer, let's go. We have a link here, so some of these links I'll be able to open up while we're there, and I can read this while we're live. So here we are.
That's an article source, is all just a source.
Okay, great. I'm reading this. Before she was Myka Stauffer, she was Myka Belisari, a nurse and single mother living in Ohio, posting weight loss videos to her YouTube channel. This was 2012, around the time she met James on OkCupid. After they moved in together, the Indianapolis got pregnant. The couple started the Stauffer life, where they vlogged about their relationship and growing family. In 2014, they were married, and Myka began a channel using her new last name with James's support. She quit nursing. By Myka's own telling, his job as an engineer paid at least 3 times what she was making. She begins, hold on, we have a video here. So these are sort of the early videos of her early in the day. Okay. Her father was, her husband was an engineer, paid 3 times what she was making. She began selling clothes on eBay while filming on her channels. Eventually, she considered to focus on YouTube full time. So here she was before she was a mama guru doing bikini videos, I guess is what's happening here. This was her.
Lose weight that quickly, 21 pounds in 21 days. I read books and I read information on it. Raw food and juicing is the way to go. It has so many health benefits and loaded in minerals and vitamins. It can also reverse cancer cells.
Okay, well, I'm already not a fan. This is not the kind of content I'd probably watch, but she's out there doing health, body stuff. Okay, got it. Back then, most of her viewed content was centered on the couple's quest to get pregnant. Again, their digital footprint spans countless hours of testimonials, showing an early willingness to share deeply personal moments. They were rewarded for it. Clips titled "My Miscarriage Story at 6 Weeks Pregnant" and "Live Pregnancy Test, Am I Pregnant?" received hundreds of thousands of views, while videos about healthy breakfasts or Myka's favorite things fell flatter. Okay, interesting here. So obviously they're, you know, that's a YouTube problem. I don't even necessarily blame them, but yeah, I mean, it's weird going to my this is not, that's weird how they're sort of promoting it that way. They came off as a couple dedicated to their kids and to each other without losing their sense of humor, and poured themselves into decorating, cooking, and child rearing. Here's another image of them that we can look at as we're going through. By 2016, Myka was homeschooling, a trend popular among family vloggers. James had started a car detailing channel, Stauffer Garage, restoring his Honda Civic for early material. With their 3 kids, the family moved to Ohio. They remained on the lower rung of influencers. Other YouTubers had grown audiences by sharing family milestones, and in a 2019 interview, James acknowledged that peak moments could increase viewership. New homes play well, as do pregnancy and new babies. Many successful vloggers have 4 kids or more. Myka said she wanted to adopt at one point. She and James talked about having 6 or 7 children with multiple adoptions, and were really specifically interested in a child from Africa. Okay, interesting. James was more reluctant. James is more reluctant, she said. After several conversations, she finally pleaded, can you please, please, in your heart, just consider adoption? Just really genuinely think about it because it's really important to me. Okay, and so here we have a video of them discussing some of this, I suppose. Here we go, hold on.
An adoption route where he's just very hesitant. I think that's the best word to say, just because he doesn't know if he would feel comfortable getting emotionally attached and then having that child go home.
Yeah, because if you did foster and adopt, you could get a newborn from day one, and they could be almost 2 years old.
3 years old.
Up to 3 years old.
They can
be taken back to the original parents. So,
like I said, there's pros.
For me, that's hard.
There's pros to every single program. Are on board with whatever you choose, and that was the one adoption route where he's just very hesitant. I think that's the best word to say, just because he doesn't know if he would feel comfortable getting emotionally attached and then.
I mean, I can relate to that. I looked at foster adoption at one point. It's needed, but it's really scary because exactly you make that connection and you have to give it up. So, all right, I'm not mad yet. So they talked about the pros and cons. They agreed, though. In 2016, the couple posted a video announcing their plans to adopt and their intent to take viewers along the way on their journey. Myka said she looked through hundreds of photos of children who were available for adoption, but none of them spoke to her until she came across the child that she and James would rename as Huxley. So here's a picture of baby Huxley. There's Huxley. Okay, this is the baby that spoke to Myka. Okay, when the agency told her over the phone about suspicions the child had a brain tumor or cyst, she said her heart just stopped. She said it just stopped, and she said she felt crushed and was heard saying that without a doubt in her minds that they knew no matter what state he came to them, that they would love him, and stated, if anything, my child is not returnable. Well, good to hear that, right? That's what you want to hear if you're fostering a child, especially if a child might have a mild brain tumor or something. You never know what you're going to get with children as they grow. Autism can be in a lot of kids, and that comes with parenting, and that's something you got to be ready for. And as a parent, you always got to be there. So, okay, got it. Myka and James asked viewers to invest not only in Huxley's adoption story, but money. In one video, they held a fundraiser asking their audience to donate $5 for puzzle pieces, which, when put together, would reveal a photo of Huxley. So, Alicia, just so I'm clear, she said this quote that I'm looking at here. Do you know for sure? If anything, my child's not... She said she did all this online, correct? Like, there's proof of this.
Yeah. I haven't been able to find anything. From what I understand, a lot of people invested into it and never received those puzzle pieces. That's why there's no trace of them.
Okay, got it. In a video, Myka said they'd raised $1,900 during the investigation conducted by Ohio's Delaware County Sheriff's Office. One of the Stauffers told officers they'd raised $100 from a GoFundMe. Either number is a small fraction of their adoption costs, which are over $40,000. In October 2017, Myka and James, along with the 3 biological children, traveled to China to pick up Huxley. Now, do we know how much was the revenue? Like, how were their views doing at this point? Did they suddenly become bigger bloggers at this point, or were they still middle tier, Alicia?
They were still middle tier.
So making a living, but probably not making a huge living. Okay. Deleted video of compilation of adoption story starts at 14 seconds. Here, let's open this one as we're looking.
I picked it out for
He has been. So his first day was just emotions and sad, and then the other day he was just kind of chill, and today it's kind of more of a fighting, if you will, fight or flight kind of.
Scratching and hair pulling, just doing different things to get attention. And
pushing the limits, right? He's trying to figure it out. So he's just trying to find his place, and we're working through it. He's not been, I can't say he's been bad. We just got to be cautious. We got to watch around the kids. Just kind of
no signs of language, definitely nonverbal so far.
They're talking about the son they have now.
So we're hoping that we can get some
them
language
in
out of him
China.
or some sign
They
language.
just picked him up, and this is within the first few hours of having him.
Got it. So he's scratching and doing stuff as expected and warned. It's a new kid. It's adoption clearly has issues. Okay, you have to deal with that. That's part of being a parent.
Through Huxley's new signs that he learned, and he knew every
I don't think
single
this video is
one.
relevant. It's a compilation.
Okay, so I'll play this in the background as I'm continue. So due to Huxley quickly becoming a focus on both Myka's channel and the Stauffer life, the couple shared tender moments of Huxley growing closer to his new family, bonding with his siblings, celebrating his first Christmas as a Stauffer, dancing, giggling, nuzzling James, playing with toys. Video of Myka. So here's describing the first couple of days. Here we go, another clip to watch.
That's okay, that happens, you know? Like sometimes you'll prepare for a natural birth and you'll get into the contractions and you've read like tons of literature and then you get to like the hard stuff and it's your first baby and you're like, oh my gosh, this is really hard. I didn't prepare for it. And that's the same thing that happened to Jim and I. We just didn't truly prepare for what trauma looks like. And it is hard, it is messy, and it is so sad. I remember praying like, am I strong enough to be his mama? Can I do this? Can I give him what he needs? And one of the hardest things about our first week in China was we grieved so hard. And since on that gotcha day, Jimmy had to hold him because he was so strong and I couldn't physically hold him any longer. He started to look at Jimmy as his comfort person because he was strong, he was always holding him, and he started taking care of him. You know, from those first couple hours that we had him as our son in the hotel room, he initially took to Jimmy because Jimmy's obviously doing those things for him. And because of that, he completely rejected me on the most hardest level humanly possible.
I don't buy that for a second. That's really weird. I mean, the first days, yeah, it's sure, maybe initially, but there's ways to overcome that.
An article Myka wrote for the...
Okay, so keep that going. I'm assuming that's enough there. A couple pride... so this is... Just so I'm gathering the script as we're going through this. Clearly, Huxley has some issues. I'll be careful how we say it, but clearly some sort of the brain... what do they call it? The cyst or whatever is clearly making him, more special, more difficult to deal with, is what I'm gathering. Yes, Alicia?
Yep, it became obvious that he had special needs.
Okay, and so that's thank you. That's what I was trying to get at clear. So they're struggling with that, and look, that makes sense. It seemed weird to be struggling with that on YouTube. However, a lot of parents have to struggle, and so if you actually are strong enough to do that, and you're monetizing this especially, and you're doing it for the good deed of sort of proving, hey, cool, we're going to prove that we can do this and that this is part of our family. I'm hoping that's where this goes. Huxley went from being our little boy we adopted to becoming our son, she told her viewers 3 months in. Good to hear. Couple also prided themselves on showing the more challenging side of parenting and adoption. Myka and James continue to post videos about Huxley's medical prognosis as well as his struggles with the apparent after effects of food insecurity, a relatively common issue for adopted and foster children who may hoard or fixate on food. Communication challenges, meltdowns. Myka spoke regularly about struggling with some of Huxley's behaviors. So we have a video here of Huxley. Okay, well, it seems like she's trying.
Yeah, this is some of the early videos when it seemed like she was really invested and really patient.
Uh-oh, you're getting me scared. So Alicia just... Spoiler alert. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, she was nice. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, he's adorable. Clearly opening up to the mom and in love. And look at that. Feeling safe and secure. That's adorable. What an adorable kid. That's amazing. Okay, so we have the couple. So that was the turning point. Sorry, I'm catching up to where I was in the story. So in the first year with Huxley, Myka's channel grew to over 400,000 subscribers. Wow. So now she took off. Her brand expanded from family and lifestyle vlogger to special needs adoption advocate, which, you know what? Good. There's a lot of people who need to see that. She started using hashtags popular within the adoption community and sometimes misused them. Stauffer's videos of Huxley granted them entry into more elite tier of family YouTubers, and soon Myka began attracting sponsors. Sponsored, like this little removed Instagram about draft detergent. Myka and Huxley are pictured in the bump of a story about their adoption challenges. Yep, there's clearly some sponsor integration there, no doubt. June 2018, Myka and James filmed with Kendall and Daniel Rich, whose channel It's Our Life have over 1 million subscribers. Kendall and Daniel are the parents of 5 children, including an adopted son with special needs. Their children showed what might be in store for the Stauffers if they continued chronicling their children's lives. As the couple's YouTube profiles grew, so did their lifestyle. 2018, the Stauffers bought a home in an upscale suburban of Columbus for $670,000 with one with multiple fireplaces, finished a basement, a bar, a great room with 20-foot ceiling, a Range Rover, Mercedes began showing up in the videos. Oh yeah, they're making that YouTube money. Then Myka and James shared their plans to adopt another child. Myka assured viewers that she and James are definitely going to be doing updates the entire time, filling you on literally everything, and encourage them to follow her on Instagram as well as private deets. So they're feeling all the success. They're making the money. They're like, how do we upgrade this? I know. Let's have another baby. Okay, got it. Instead, Myka soon announced that she was pregnant with the couple's 5th child, sharing footage of her taking a pregnancy test and awaiting the results. She cried tears of joy at the sight of the blue lines and filmed herself sharing the news with James by leading him down a trail of hamburger buns and electric tea lights, getting down on one knee and asking, "Do you accept this pacifier?" New baby video and Huxley struggling with the new baby. Okay, so they had it. Weeks later, the couple appeared to be in front of the camera again. Hold on, let me get this up while I'm looking at it. Here's the video of the baby.
Oh.
Don't you think? 10 more?
Yeah. I got one.
Oh, thank you for my cuddles. Thank you.
She put your arm.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know if we should have 10 kids.
You don't want 10 more kids? Look who got jelly. Look at that.
Well,
Watch.
if 10 plus 5 is 15, so if we have 10 kids.
He does not let other people touch me. He does not let other people hug on me. He gets very jealous and protective, which is really funny. So if the other kids come and like love on me and hug on me, oh, Kova. Watch Huxley.
Yeah.
But he's pretty much just said, chop, chop, get out of here. This is what's happening.
Okay. There we see some more of that as it goes. All right, so that's happening. They have the new baby. The baby's there. A couple appeared weeks later in front of the camera again, eyes puffy from a different sort of tears. Huxley then revealed had been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder level 3, the most severe form in which communication challenges can be lifelong. The therapist told them that Huxley's IQ was below average and he would very likely never go to college. Myka described the news as really hard to stomach. She stated, "Here's the video." Ugh. But there they are, monetizing it yet again.
We wanted to kind of sit down and chat with you because the last 2 weeks have probably been some of the hardest weeks we've ever gone through in our entire lives. And at first we were like, we're just going to keep vlogging. And Jim was like, I don't know if I want to say anything because it hurts to talk about it. We finally got to the point where it's like, no, we're going to talk about it and get it off of our chest so that like, if we are ever having a down day, that you guys know where our headspace was or what was kind of going on. We went to get Huxley tested for autism about 4 weeks ago. And
okay, so this is terrible. I mean, this is a tough thing to do, and this is where YouTube life gets a little too personal for me. Personally, I know it's all about transparency and everything, but my goodness, this is getting a little too intense, too tight in there. While I appreciate them trying to be transparent, I don't know, something's reading off to me. But there we go. There's the video of that. They placed Huxley in a preschool and 30 hours in home therapy a week and continue to record their family's story. Myka shared their struggles with various parenting publications and maintained that the challenges were worth the rewards. Okay, good. Sheriff's Office report later revealed the extent of the Stauffer's struggles, detailed how the couple had hired a full-time caregiver for Huxley, which was very expensive, to prevent what authorities say one of the Stauffers described as the child's severe aggression towards the other children. They said they tried to get him additional support, including 7 months of applied behavior analysis therapy, but the behaviors, throwing toys, removing registers from the floors, attempting to hit the other children with them, continued to escalate. Several people who had agreed to watch Huxley quit, one of the Stauffers told the investigator, and Huxley's outbursts were traumatizing for the other kids. Ugh, this is rough. It hasn't been the easiest road. We have to have so many bumps along the way, but by far it's my favorite journeys ever, while still clearly doing a sponsorship with the adopted child that she's taken. Okay. Dreft ad. Yeah, clearly there it is. As months went on, however, Huxley began to appear less frequently. The Stauffers attempted to explain why the child wasn't as prominent. Myka said he was often having meltdowns, and James made a video that addressed why they sometimes treated Huxley different. Their adopted son went to bed before the other children, he said, not only because he was developmentally younger and needed to fall asleep earlier, but because he required extra attention during the day, and the schedule gave James and Myka some time with their other children. By January of this year, Myka and James decided they needed a break and took a trip to Bali with their infant son, which they documented on Instagram. In the pictures, the images of influencers tend to strive for well-traveled, happy, and blessed. Since adopting Huxley, Myka and James' online success had grown substantially. Total earnings are difficult to estimate, but the Stauffers earned from $4,000 to $67,000 from their 3 channels in April to May. I bet you it was more than that. The number does not include revenue from sponsorships. Myka had hired a manager to handle all the DMs from companies they wanted to work with her. After the vacation, Myka's namesake changed focus on cleaning and organizing, and she began posting on a new money-centric channel, The Cash Crush. The Cash Crush is still up on IG, but no posts are associated. In March, she used the hashtags adoption trauma and reactive attachment disorder, also known as RAD, a rare but treatable disorder that can share symptoms with autism, on an Instagram photo holding Huxley. Offline that spring, the Stauffers were talking with medical experts and therapists, conversations that would lead them to the possibility of finding a new home for their son. Followers began asking about the child in the comments on Myka's Instagram. Eventually, the questions morphed from inquisitive to concerned to angry. On May 3rd, the first post on the anonymous Instagram account, Justice for Huxley, appeared. Myka, we are very worried about your son. Deleting AG comments and avoiding questions inquiring about Huxley and his whereabouts is extremely suspicious and worrying. We won't stop until we have justice for Huxley. Delaware Sheriff's County's Office. The Delaware... so what is this? So this is getting, here we go. This is the turn I was dreading. I can't make this, there we go, make this bigger. Delaware County Sheriff has received several inquiries regarding the welfare of local 5-year-old child who was recently given up for adoption. This child is not missing. Our primary concern is for the well-being of this child as well as the other children in the household. Our investigation is ongoing and will include contact with all children to ensure their safety. All adoption cases are confidential and must go through a thorough process with specific requirements, safeguards, and private adoptions. There are the same legal requirements they must adhere to. These include home studies as well as background checks and the adopting parents. In this case, we are confident that the appropriate process is occurring. In addition, both parties are being represented by attorneys to ensure full compliance with the court process. Due to the confidential of this case, we will not be releasing any specific information. Okay, so this came in from the sheriff's office. So people were complaining, Alicia, after he disappeared. Is that what I'm gathering?
Yeah, the videos with Huxley and them became far and few between. And they were just saying that it was due to his special needs and it required more attention, and they were posting less. So people started calling the local sheriff's office for a welfare check.
Okay, so they did they did take over 2 years ago. The YouTuber and her husband posted a video on one of their channels, letting the world know that they decided to disrupt the adoption of their 4-year-old son. Hold on, does this work? Is there a link there?
Yeah.
This is by far the hardest video James and I have ever publicly had to make. But before I get into the video, I did just want to say
she made private videos that are hard to make.
How amazing our viewers have been. We have some viewers who have been just like so incredibly kind and respectful of our son's privacy. I just want to say thank you. Like, that really got me through some really hard times, and I just want to say thanks. Like, you have no idea what that means to me, and some of the special messages that you sent. Like, just thank you for this one ever.
I can't say enough how hard Myka has tried throughout this entire journey, and the amount of effort she's put into this and helping Huxley as much as she can. So I mean, you guys have been part of this adoption journey even before, you know, we picked up Huxley throughout the whole process. And, you know, with international adoption, sometimes there's unknowns and things that are not transparent on files and things like that. And once Huxley came home, there was a lot more special needs that we weren't aware of and that we were not told. So over the past few years, Huxley's been in numerous therapies to try to help him with all of his needs. And over the last year has been a more intense therapy that he's been in to try to help him as much as possible with his severe needs. And for us, it's been really hard hearing from the medical professionals a lot of their feedback and things that have been really upsetting for us, because this is not what we've ever wanted to hear. We've never wanted to be in this position, and we've been trying to get his needs met and help him out as much as possible. It's really hard. And we truly love him.
What? He's still there, and he's yours. Isn't he part of your family? I'm confused.
There's not an ounce of our body that doesn't love Huxley with all of our being.
Well, if you loved him, What's the problem?
A minute that I didn't try our hardest, and I think what Jim's trying to say is that after multiple assessments, after multiple evaluations, numerous medical professionals have felt that he needed a different fit in his medical needs. He needed more.
We haven't made this video yet. It's because we've been trying to protect his privacy, his rights, and also just try to not mess up his future that was
I'm not buying this shit.
laid out in front of us. We're trying our best to make sure we don't impact that at all by making this video. And
that's why, like, on Instagram and stuff, I've tried to, like, let you know as little as I could, but I couldn't tell you anymore because I didn't want to mess anything up with what's going on legally. And if I said something, was I going to mess up things for his future?
You mean mess up the opportunity to give him away? Is that what she means, Alicia? I'm confused here. Hold on, I guess.
And it's just been a really hard place to be in, like, because you're grieving. I want to share with you guys. Like, I know deep down inside that I don't have to say anything. Like, I don't have to say this. I don't have to, but I want to. Like, I want to tell you. You guys have been there for us for so much, and I want to fill you in on what's going on.
Oh my God, she's so concerned with the audience and filling them in. I'm not on team Myka Stauffer here. I don't buy this. What if it was your biological child? What would you have done then? You don't get to just say, sorry, too hard for me, see ya. That's not what being a parent is, and you're rich. You have now become ambassadors for adoption and hard children. You now are the spokesman, and you're making money putting him in draft ads. What are you talking about? This is, dude, sorry, welcome to life.
And what hard, like, do I feel like a failure as a mom? Like, 500%.
Yes.
So when you get, like, insidious, hurtful comments, it just, like, really makes it hurt worse. It's not.
I'm sorry. Alicia, wait, correct me because I know you're listening. Didn't they also just get pregnant to have another kid?
Yep.
Why the hell did they do that?
Right. And I think the sixth child was around the time that the channel started to grow. And then with Huxley,
they were going to replace Huxley with a new kid. Yep. Let's get pregnant with a kid. So as we dump this one, oh cool, we'll have more content. Oh, you're slimy, dude. Pregnant, you can control pregnancy, especially when you're married. You don't have to have a child if you don't want to have a child. If your workload is already up to the top because you got special needs kid, you don't add another one. The hell is this?
It's not about me at all, but it's just like this journey has been. The last couple months have been like the hardest thing I could have ever imagined choosing to do, because ultimately, after pouring our guts and our heart into this little boy.
The reason why we can't go into detail of what actually transpired is because we're truly going to protect Huxley's privacy. And
do we have more information on what happened here? Can I move on, or do I need to listen to this rest, Alicia? Because I'm infuriated, but I imagine more is going to develop after this, correct?
Yeah, more develops after this, but because Huxley is an adopted child, there is HIPAA rights and so forth, so it is kind of limited.
Okay, got it. So, all right, so I'm just getting too frustrated to keep watching this video. I'm not buying it. So, okay, so they never officially adopted him in court. Is that what I'm seeing here? Interesting. They were sympathetic, but the video which was posted also fueled outrage. Yeah, I can see that. Stauffer's lost thousands of subscribers. Facebook and Instagram accounts sprung up demanding justice for Huxley and cancel Myka and James Stauffer. Brands that they worked with to promote the products, including Fabletics, Suave, blah, 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 distanced themselves. They were even subject to a sheriff's office investigation after detractors suggested their other children might be endangered. In the kindest light, Myka, now 33, and James 35 were painted as well-meaning but naive parents who had gotten in over their heads. In the harshest, they were fame-hungry narcissists who had exploited a child for clicks and profit, only to discard him when caring proved too difficult. Yeah, I think that seems like a very fair spot down the middle, and I got to go with more of the latter.
File a claim.
Ugh, stupid ads.
Just did.
As I'm looking at that, I'm on team narcissist.
And after that video that we just watched went up, this video instantly went up. She went live on Instagram. So this is their live right after that video was uploaded.
Like to react.
Yep.
Huxley is dealing with some very personal matters, some very, very private matters.
Then why are you on Instagram?
I actually just filmed a video that we're going to edit so that we can get out to you and share with you.
Oh my God, this weird Instagram tear filter that she added?
What is truly going on. But
I thought they couldn't say it. So now because she's getting backlash and losing sponsors, she immediately is ready to destroy Huxley's privacy to explain that it's really difficult.
At no point ever have we been trying to withhold information or trying to hide what's going on.
I'm glad you noticed the tear filter. It was driving me nuts.
Oh my God, that's a choice. That is a choice. That's not like, oh, that happened on there. She chose a tear filter?
Protect Huxley and Huxley's privacy during certain...
Dude, why aren't you with your kid who's like, what is your kid doing and not napping? Why are you talking?
...stages of what's going on. So, I apologize.
I had to disregard my other child to co-apologize to my social media followers.
And if you remember, shortly back, there was a video they did about adopting and foster and how they were afraid to get attached to a son and then have to give it back or have to put foster and all that things. And it seems almost ironic.
Oh yes, nonverbal Huxley told you, I don't want to live with you guys no more. Send to me these strangers so I can be traumatized even more with my life. Oh my God, it's so sad. We would never give up a child with special needs. This is a personal matter to Hux. It had nothing to do with just he had autism. Multiple scary things happened inside the home towards her other children. So you're admitting you were scared. And if these events happened with other biological kids, after all the help and after the behaviors we witnessed, sadly, we would just have no other choice than to seek help and get their needs met. Huxley wanted this decision 100%. How? Yeah, bullshit. What do you mean Huxley wanted it? We saw that. Yeah, he's 5 and has special needs. We saw that in family time with other people, he constantly chose them and signed and showed tons of emotion to us and let us know he wanted this. Huxley never had to say anything in his adoption. Needed more help and also wanted to know you that 100%. Oh my God! So she's out there again, total narcissist. She's losing followers, and so that's bothering her more than losing her own son. Oh my God. This is now all right. You found my kryptonite. Now I'm getting livid. Soon after the news broke, Stauffers began facing swift backlash. Fans accusing them of being irresponsible parents and monetizing Huxley facts for selling advertisement. She once put Huxley in a timeout over food and filmed the whole experience. I don't even know if I want to watch that.
And
Jesus.
It was one of their top videos
Of punishing Huxley?
Yeah.
Top videos because of the controversy? Or before it happened?
Yes, I believe it was after the controversy became like their top video.
And so I'm sure monetizing it so they keep it on because YouTube monetizes that garbage like crazy. This one's frustrating as I'm waiting for this ad to finish.
She said that...
All right, it's not linked here.
Meltdown. And she justifies the fact that he's about to have a timeout. Sits him down on the steps, and she asks him, like, what do you want? What's going on? What's the problem? She already knows what the problem is, and Huxley is at this point saying that he wants more, so he does the sign for more, and he also puts his hands up to his mouth, which means mama, and he's asking her for more food, and she just sits there and says, no, we've already eaten, everything's fine, and he continues to cry.
So, okay, that's got it. And then there was other on-camera moments where later would concern viewers. In one video, Huxley appears with his thumb duct taped, seemingly to prevent him from sucking it. In the sheriff's office report, one of Stauffers told a deputy he would suck his thumb so raw it would have blisters. In another, Myka followed the child with a cameraman while he cried, asking him, are we done fitting? Ugh. We gave him back his thumb since he was starting to act up, and it's been even worse. However, when their daughter sucked her thumb, they would just tell her to stop or talk about why she was sucking her thumb when filming. Playtex, Baby, Danimals, other brands severed ties with the parenting, lifestyle influencers. Adoption advocates and experts spoke out as well, explaining that experiences like this can be extremely detrimental to children's well-being. Brands dropped Myka Stauffer. After their announcement, Myka changed her social media profiles to reflect that she is the mother of 4 kids, not 5. Oh, Jesus. And then deleted content featuring Huxley. Stauffer life disappeared as well, including the couple's 7-minute tearful plea. Myka hasn't returned to YouTube, nor has she posted on Instagram since her apology. The brands she partnered with have fled, and even if they hadn't, there's no new content to sponsor. James, however, is back to sharing videos on Stauffer Garage. His followers aren't there for his family life. They want to see cars being detailed. By June, so is that still doing well? I'm curious.
Yes, he's doing quite well.
So So Stauffer Garage, he just pivoted over to another brand. He's like, well, I'll just keep playing with cars. No one's going to care anymore. And so, yeah, he's still succeeding in a car brand. And so looking at these views, yeah, he's doing pretty well.
Right. And I think a lot of people watch him to hopefully get like a family update or, any kind of, because the Stauffer channel has like just completely stopped, the family channel.
Good. They shouldn't be family child authorities anymore. By June, authorities said they had received 3 tips from people who said they did not personally know the Stauffers, recounting some of what had been discussed on social media, including concerns that Huxley was mistreated. After the sheriffs opened his investigation, deputies met with the Stauffers in person. One of the Stauffers explained that duct tape was just a bad judgment call. They should have purchased a specific device. Yeah, duh. They detailed some of what had led them to dissolve the adoption, and authorities looked into Huxley's second adoption, which they deemed to have been conducted legally. One of the Stauffers also said they'd received death threats, including one about slitting their... I don't even read that loud. Authorities told Huxley's new family also feared for its safety as well. When deputies met with Huxley and his new mother, they reported walking into an office to find the child sitting on her lap and smiling, and that he appeared to be very happy and well taken care of. Investigation was closed, but the sheriff's office says it will continue to check on the Stauffers. Myka's TikTok is now private. James still has his YouTube channel, currently has 1.26 million subscribers. Myka has pretty much has been canceled on social media, but James really isn't. After all this, they are still getting paid by YouTube. Then back in 2020, they were going to have a live stream on YouTube, but put Huxley in the thumbnail and people were not having it. So they pulled the live stream down and it was canceled. Myka Stauffer's family album, there it is, Sweetest Moments, revealed. Myka linked this image. Sloan had some videos on this as well. What is this last video? The Our Life? Is this them?
No, the Our Life is a really popular family YouTube channel, and they had filmed with the Stauffers periodically. So after this all came out, they felt like they needed to make a statement.
So they wrote, "I will never give up our child."
Oh, Myka and James and Huxley personally, but I felt like on behalf of adoptive parents, I needed to say something.
And they said they're never going to give up their kid. Good, bravo, well done. It's our life. That's what you do. And what's so frustrating, Alicia, as we're going through, and that's where we're at. As we go through this, it's so depressing because they were warned. They were warned, and she did it. I mean, look. So here's my feedback. I want to get all your feedback as we're going through. I mean, this infuriates me. At the same time, it sounds like she's been canceled, and in a way, a deserved canceled, because of the way she sort of handled it. To me, I do believe that they were in over their head. I do believe they weren't prepared. They want to be influencers, and they're selfish. They're selfish, just narcissistic people, and they weren't happy. And to be fair, while I don't like them, I'm glad they did what they did, because the kid clearly needed to be in a more loving, more attentive family that wasn't going to be worrying about what they were posting on Instagram. So from that perspective, it sounds like, hopefully, Huxley's in a better place. And Huxley needed someone who can actually take care of him. And so the reality is, Huxley removing out of this family is probably better for everybody involved, as tough as that is. But as you know, that doesn't mean I can't judge and criticize this family, because that's not okay. That's not what you do in a case of adoption, especially when you become the face of it. You're monetizing your adopted son, who's you're struggling with, and your reaction was to have another kid. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't accept it. I'm not okay with it. So no, I'm not a fan of these Stauffer family. Do I think I saw sort of Puff sort of like, should he be able to have a YouTube channel with his garage? Yeah. I mean, what are we supposed to do? This guy's never going to work again. They clearly weren't good parents to this adopted child. I don't like them. I'm not going to support. I'm glad they're not making family videos, but if he's able to find an audience and just do stuff with cars and focus on that as a side gig, whatever. I'm not of the logic of people should never get the chance to work again. And if people are watching and subscribing to him on a different total subject, it is what it is. I'm not subscribing. I don't care. I also just don't like cars, and I don't really want to watch advice from these guys. But the world's weird. So I don't begrudge their success here. It's not that successful. It's okay. They're doing okay. They could probably make a living off this and not have to stress. But I can't imagine the other toil it is for Myka that she's going through. I do believe she's going through something. That emotional toll of dealing with everything. I don't wish it on my worst enemy, even if I hate somebody. At the same time, deserved. You don't get to just showcase this whole thing and then give it away. You can't, like, oh yeah, I have this beautiful son, he's part of our family, and then give him away. That's not in my book. You can't do it. It's going to be a tough life, but it's what it is. That's what being a parent's all about. And don't sign up if you're not willing to handle your child at the worst for the rest of your life, because that's really what a child, even at 18, guys, they can be even more problematic then. Can you imagine what I put my parents through when I got canceled at 30, whatever it was? It never ends. Parents know this. Good parents know this. So, my God, you can't handle 3 years in, then sorry, bad parents, bad influencers, and that's the problem with our society. We're so obsessed with these Instagram likes and everything else, we lose focus. That shot that bugged me the most was her follow-up video crying on me. This was the most offensive one where I was like, I'm done with you. When she had to go on with this Instagram filter, crying while her kid's like sleeping behind her, and she's keeping her kid up by apologizing to Instagram to try and save her brand. Dude, done. Cancel you. Bye. Get out of here. This could have all been handled better. It could have all been handled better. I don't believe for a second they were saying they were being honest and transparent. I'm sure they knew week 1 that they regretted the decision. And to be fair, they should have made that call then and not put that child through as long of a process as they did. So I'm really bothered by these people, and I understand why people are upset with them. So Alicia, just to get your to speak for Puff, and thank you, Puff, for the amazing work here. Applause for the research. I'm sad I know the story, but I'm glad I at least understand where it's coming from, so I can have my anger here. But Alicia, in honor of Puff and for you being here, any takeaways you want to add that I'm missing or thoughts you want to say?
Nope. I just noticed after that, I think that Instagram video we're looking at now was some of the final of her uploading videos. Their YouTube channel is completely wiped clean, and they're really hard to find online. So I think she's completely has taken a social media complete break. Everything seems to be deleted and gone.
And then Huxley, do we have an update on Huxley? I was looking, I didn't see Puff finding anything. It sounds like we had that one clip that said they checked on him and he was happy and healthy with the new mom. It sounds like he's in a good place.
Yep, he's in a good place, but because he's an adopted child, which now probably into foster or another adoption, they have to be really careful with HIPAA and privacy. But right. I'm sure if the police are commenting he's happy and safe, he's happy and safe.
He appears happy and well taken care of. That's the best we can offer here. And I don't want to go rooting for photos or doing, that's just not, again, for the laws and protection and safety. I'm going to trust the deputies on this, that he's in a good place. And he's young enough that it can still, he can adapt, I hope. And gratefully, someone hopefully knows what they were getting into and accepting. And those types of parents, oh my goodness, to all those parents out there that have to deal with this, I feel you. I love you. I see you. Being a parent, any parent is difficult. But a parent of a special needs child, it's another level. But I know some people who have that, and it's worth it. It's always worth. They always tell me it's worth it. As tough as the days get, having that love, having that child look up to you, and knowing you can then be there to help protect them. That's what being a parent's about. And if you're not prepared for that, don't be a parent. Don't be a parent. You can always, it's as frustrating as it is. I have to say, I'm going to be a little, I know a lot of people seem to be very mad, and I see the comments for the live audience. I'm glad she did it. I'm glad she did it so that child could be at a loving family, because the reality is, there's so many adopted kids out there that need loving families. It's so sad, but there are a lot of amazing families out there that do adopt, and to all the foster families out there, the adopted families out there, you do amazing work. What you're doing for these kids is so incredible, and to the family that took Huxley to help make sure he was okay, just warms my heart and makes me happy, if that's the case, that this happened and he got out of that family. As frustrating and sad, psychological, so much bad that went into that, and I'm going to stay angry at them. I'm grateful that move happened, because it sounds like they're in a better place. So what a lesson to learn. What a frustrating story. If this case pops back up, now you will know what this case is all about. I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned. Thank you again, Puff. So much brilliant work that you did compiling all that. Did you guys like this format? Did you like me reacting and getting frustrating with you live? This recap? Let us know in the comments down below. Before you do that, smash that like button and make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for all alerts, smash the like button, and tell us what other story would you like to see in this format. First time watching of pop culture, true crime, all the stuff out there. I don't know a lot of it. It's time to get some refreshers. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Andy. This is Popcorn Planet. We're not done live, test audience. I'm going to talk to you in a second, but everybody watching this replay, let us know what you thought. Thank you so much for watching.